kitchen, shall we? A commercial banquet kitchen must have large equipment that helps in doing all the heavy duty and bulk work. Small equipment is necessary to get the individual orders out in no time. Hand tools are a chef's best friends. A kitchen is never complete without these. A kitchen must have pots, pans and molds of various types to be used for cooking various dishes. If you're not familiar with these equipments, don't worry, we can definitely help you out. Hello and welcome to this module on large equipment. After completing this module, you will be able to identify the large equipment, state the use of each piece of equipment. Each recipe specifies measurements of the ingredients, but how can you be sure about getting these measures correctly? This is achieved using measuring equipments. Let's find out how to measure liquids. To do this, you can use pitchers. These pitchers are marked in pints, quarts, gallons or liters, and you can choose the ones that you need. Solid foods can be measured on weighing scales. The most commonly used units are grams and kilograms. Just like the doctor places a thermometer under your tongue to check your body temperature, cooking thermometers are used when the food needs to be at an exact temperature. What if you found a stone in your soup? Ouch! But don't worry, kitchens are equipped with straining equipment to remove such impurities from your food. Let's take a look at few of these instruments. Soft foods like tomatoes, fruit, etc. can be pureed using the food mill. You just have to put them in, crank the lever like so, and you get a beautiful creamy puree. The drum sieve is used for sifting. You know how flour can get lumpy? We don't want those lumps, so we pass it through the drum sieve. This, friends, is a chinois. It's a conical sieve with an extremely fine mesh. Did you get the pronunciation right? No? Don't worry, let's say it again. Chinois. Great. A colander is also a type of sieve. As you can see, it's a bowl-shaped utensil that can be used to drain liquid from foods like rice, noodles or pasta. Let us look at some general equipments. As you can see, this is a small blender that can be used to blend or puree small quantities of food. You can prepare things like milkshakes, thick soups and sauces with this implement. Now, all of you must be familiar with the trusty old mixer grinder. Preparing masalas, chutneys and mixtures just got a whole lot easier thanks to this versatile gadget. The toaster is a quick and easy way to crisp up bread. It's literally as easy as popping your bread in and waiting for it to pop back out. The sandwich griller can be used to grill small items like sandwiches and breads. It has both a top and bottom grill to ensure that the bread is grilled from both sides. The deep fat fryer is very useful for deep frying large portions of food. You can make things like French fries, fried chicken or any other deep fried preparation simply by placing your raw items in the strainer and plunging it into the tub of hot oil. Do you remember all the equipments we mentioned? No? Don't worry. Here's a quick refresher. First, let's look at the measuring equipment. Liquids can be measured using pitchers, solids by using scales, and temperature using a cooking thermometer. Then we saw straining equipment like the food mill, drum sieve, chinois, and the colander. Lastly, we saw the general equipment. This list comprises of the hand stick blender, the mixer grinder, the toaster, the sandwich griller, and the deep fat fryer. Hand tools are all the little tools you find around a typical kitchen. These are the tools that should be constantly by the side of your stovetop, ready to stir, whisk, flip, or pick up any food item at a moment's notice. They include knives, peelers, Parisian scooper, whisk, spatulas, ladles, spoons, rolling pins, chopping board, sharpening stone. Don't worry too much if you aren't familiar with any of these tools. By the end of this module, you'll be a pro. After completing this module, you will be able to identify the hand tools, state the use of each tool. Take a look at all these hand tools that you find in a kitchen. Whoa, the list is long, isn't it? But don't worry, I'm here to lead you around and explain everything. A knife is a chef's best friend. You will always carry a general kitchen knife around with you from the start of your shift till the end of it. Knives are handy tools with sharp edges of various shapes and sizes. As you obviously know, they are used to cut or chop food items. None of the knives used in a commercial kitchen have a wooden handle, as wood absorbs liquids. This is a general kitchen knife with a 6-inch blade. This is a small knife with a 3-inch blade. This here is a palette knife. As you can see, it has a flat blade with no sharp edges. It is used for leveling the food surface. It is always a good idea to peel a cucumber before serving it in a salad. And to do this, you will use a peeler. It is also used for skinning carrots, turnips, potatoes, etc. What I have here is a Parisian scooper. Let's say it again together. Parisien. Got it? Cool. The scooper is used to scoop out balls from fruits or vegetables. Resulting scoops are what you would informally call melon balls. Want to beat an egg or make whipped cream? Use a whisk. This is used to aerate or mix liquid food items. This is a spatula and it is used for lifting and turning food on the girdle. The key to have a perfectly clear soup or stocks is to gently skim off the foam and fat from the surface as the pot simmers. A ladle makes the task quick and easy. Apart from their most obvious use, you can also use spoons to measure quantities. For example, teaspoon, tablespoon, etc. Keep a set of spoons handy for tasting stuff too. Roll dough to make chapatis, crush nuts, or make Mexican tortillas with a rolling pin. You cannot just chop vegetables on any old surface. Special chopping boards are used for this purpose. They are preferably made of plastic. You will never use wooden chopping boards in a commercial kitchen as wood absorbs liquid and retains it for a long time. This may result in the growth of harmful bacteria and cause cross-contamination. The chopping boards are also color-coded to recognize which board is to be used for what purpose. This is to avoid contamination and to protect the blade of the knife. Green boards are used for cutting vegetables. Red boards are used for cutting red meat like mutton, beef, pork, etc. Blue boards are used for cutting seafood. And yellow for chopping poultry, that is white meat. You can use a sharpening stone to keep your knife sharp. Can you recall the various hand tools that we saw today? No? Don't fret, here's a quick look at each one of them. Knives, peeler, Parisian scooper, whisk, spatula, ladle, spoon, rolling pin, chopping board, sharpening stone. Okay, the first utensil that I need is a stock pot. Now, which one of these utensils is the perfect one for a stock pot? No, you are wrong. The base is not wide at all. No, it is too short. Yes, you are right. This one has a very large base and tall sides. Now, chefs usually prepare a large quantity of stock and use it little by little in our dishes. That's why the stock pot needs to be tall in height and have a large base. Next on my list is a good saucepan. Now, which one of these utensils is the perfect one for a saucepan? No, it does not have tall sides. No, this one does not have a long handle. Yes, you are right. This one has a nice long handle and is quite tall. A saucepan is good for simmering sauces and for heating things. So, it needs to have a long handle and tall sides. This is the perfect saucepan. So what's next? Oh yes, I need a sauté pan. Let me just repeat that. It's a sauté pan. Will this utensil make a good sauté pan? No, this is too deep. Now, sautéing is a method of cooking that uses a small amount of oil, a shallow pan, and high heat. Thus, the sauté pan is designed to be lighter and thinner than saucepans. It also has a long handle, perfect for sautéing. Let's see what's next on the list. Oh, it's the non-stick pan. We need a shallow pan with a smooth Teflon base and a long handle. Let's take a look at these options. Now, which one of these utensils do you think would work as a non-stick pan? No, of course not. The base is metal, not Teflon. Oh no, this is not a shallow pan with a long handle. Yes, you are right. This has the perfect dimensions, a nice long handle and a smooth Teflon base. Oh, we need a wok for our Asian kitchen. Let's look for the perfect wok. Oh no, it doesn't have a rounded shape. No, where is the wooden handle? This is a perfect wok. Is just a Chinese version of our very own kadhai. It has a wooden handle to hold on to while you vigorously toss your food inside. It also has a rounded shape. Next, we need to look for a gratin dish. That's a French word, by the way. I'll pronounce it again. Gratin. Let's look for the perfect gratin dish. No, it's not gratin dish. No, this is not the right shape at all. Yes, you are right. It is perfectly small and is safe to put in the oven. Good job there. Gratin dishes are made of aluminum. They are very small and lightweight and are used to bake food in the oven. What's next? Oh yes, we need a roasting pan. Let's look for the perfect roasting pan. No, I'm afraid this is too small. No, this is not the right shape at all. Yes, this one is perfect, sturdy and big. Roasting pans are made out of cast iron because they are meant to roast big chunks of meat in the oven. Let's see what's next on the list. We need some dariole molds. No, you're wrong. No, this is not the right shape at all. This is a perfect dariole mold. It has a nice cup shape and is made of oven-proof material. Dariole molds are small cup-shaped molds that are used to bake puddings and custards. We're almost at the end of our list. Let's see what's next. Oh, we need a tambal. No, you're wrong. No, this is not the right shape at all. Let's look at this one. Yes, very good. This is the perfect tambal for me. It's a long, cylindrical mold that helps in giving height to foods like muffins and puddings. And finally, we have only one last utensil on the list. We're looking for a terrine mold. No, you're wrong. No, this is not the right shape at all. Yes, you are right. It is nice and long and would produce a good-sized loaf. Excellent! Terrine mold, which is nothing but a big aluminum mold that is either rectangular or square in shape. It is used to cook pâtés and meatloafs. This completes all the items in my kitchen. That's it! We've identified the perfect pots, pans and molds from our kitchen. Let me show you everything that we've selected. We have a stock pot, a saucepan, a sauté pan, a non-stick pan, a wok, a gratin dish, a roasting pan, dariole mold, tambal and terrine mold. Before you can start cutting away like a professional, you need to know how to handle a knife. A good knife handling technique will help you cut faster and more efficiently. First, clean and sanitize knife to disinfect it. Be careful, don't cut yourself. Clean and sanitize the chopping board as well. Can you tell me why chef has chosen a green chopping board? That's right. Because we want to cut vegetables, we must use a green chopping board. Then you must place the vegetables on the chopping board. Hold them in place correctly. You can do this by placing your hand on the vegetable with the thumb behind your fingers. The fingers must be straight. This position is best because nails are hard and the knife blade will slide off from the nails if there's a mishap. Now you're all set to cut the vegetables in the desired shape and size. What is a mirepoix cut? Well, we all have been cutting potatoes and beetroots in our kitchens since we were at our mother's knees. It is always done within the shortest time so that our mothers can cook the day's meal and get on with her other chores. Not much attention is paid to the shape or the size. The general size does not exceed 1.5 inch though. That is the general principle of the mirepoix technique. To cut vegetables in the mirepoix shape, you will need a colander, a peeler, a knife, a green chopping board, a container. Now that you have all the tools you need, Let us proceed with cutting the vegetables mirepoix style. First, you must place the vegetables in a colander and wash them under running water. Some vegetables like onion do not require washing. Now, hold one of the vegetables comfortably in one hand. Peel the vegetable. Some vegetables like potatoes, carrots and radishes need peeling, as washing doesn't remove all the dirt. However, some others like brinjal and French beans needn't be peeled. Now all you need to do is cut the vegetable in the desired shape and size. The size and shape depends on its use, such as stalks, roast, etc. Store the cut vegetables if you won't be using them immediately, or else send them for cooking. Wasn't that really easy? Now for a quick look at the steps. Did you see how easy it was to make mirepoix cuts? Then you will find making paysan cut equally easy. What are paysan shapes? They are half-inch by half-inch by 1/8 inch cuts that resemble triangles or can look like dice. To make paysan cut, you will need a colander, a peeler, a knife, a green chopping board and a container. Do you have everything you will need now? Cool. Let's proceed with making the paysan cut. To make a paysan cut, you must first take the vegetables in a colander and wash them under running water to remove dirt. Peel the vegetable using a peeler. As you may already know, some vegetables such as brinjal, French beans do not need peeling. Now cut the peeled vegetable lengthwise in half. Cut the vegetables in a slant lengthwise to get 3 triangular shapes. Now for each shape, slice the triangular strips vertically, starting from one end to another. These cuts are mostly used in minestrone, a kind of Italian soup. Collect the vegetables in a container. If you are cutting brinjal, potatoes or apples, place the cuts in water to avoid browning. Awesome! Now you know how to paysan like a pro. Let's now move on to the third and final shape called the triangle. As you must all already know, a triangle is a geometric shape with 3 sides. Let us now learn how to cut a vegetable in triangles. As usual, before you can get started, let's see what tools you will need. To cut a vegetable in triangles, you will need a colander, a peeler, a knife, a green chopping board and a container. Okay, let's start cutting. Firstly, you must place the vegetable in a colander and wash it under running water. Some vegetables like onion do not require washing. Then peel the vegetable using a peeler. Remember, not all vegetables require peeling. Now place the vegetable horizontally on the chopping board. Hold firmly. Cut so as to get vertical slices. After this, place the slices vertically and further divide them by a diagonal cut. There you have it. Your triangles are cut and ready. Collect them in a container and use immediately. If not, you must always refrigerate them, and if they're the kind that will brown, place them in water. While cutting any vegetable, it is very important to take certain precautions for your own safety. Your thumb must always be behind your fingers. Fingers should be straight because nails are hard and the knife blade will slide off from the nails. If you cut yourself while cutting something, discard the ingredients lying on the chopping board. Sanitize the board to make it germ-free before using it again. I hope you are paying attention to all that was taught by our beloved Chef Raj today. After all, you do not want to end up like that poor little cook in Chef Raj's kitchen, do you? But in case you miss something, here are the main points you must always remember. The cuts must be of same size and shape so that the food is cooked uniformly. The procedure for cutting varies depending on the type. It is different for pods, tubers, root, leafy vegetables, shape and size of the vegetable, etc. If you are cutting vegetables such as brinjal, potatoes, apples, remember to cut and place them in water to avoid browning. Always keep your working area clean and tidy. Let us start with understanding what is meant by a dice. When a piece has the same length, breadth, and height measurements, it is called a dice. If you've played Ludo or Snakes and Ladders, you'll know what I'm talking about. But we're talking about food. Why would we dice food? Simply because it becomes easier to bite or swallow. A well-diced vegetable will be cooked evenly. Dices are mainly of three types: brunoise, medium dice, large dice. I know it sounds complicated, but don't worry. Chef Raj here will show you how it is done. Before you can start cutting away like a professional, you need to know how to handle a knife. A good knife handling technique will help you cut faster and more efficiently. First, clean and sanitize knife to disinfect it. Be careful, don't cut yourself. Clean and sanitize the chopping board as well. Can you tell me why Chef has chosen a green chopping board? That's right, because we want to cut vegetables, we must use a green chopping board. Then you must place the vegetables on the chopping board. Hold them in place correctly. You can do this by placing your hand on the vegetable with the thumb behind your fingers. The fingers must be straight. This position is best because nails are hard and the knife blade will slide off from the nails if there's a mishap. Now you're all set to cut the vegetables in the desired shape and size.
अरे गीता, तुम मेरे घर आई, ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। वास्तव में मुझे इंटरनेट के बारे में कई महत्वपूर्ण बातों को समझने में तुम्हारी मदद की जरूरत है।
जरूर चाचा, मैं यहाँ आपकी मदद और मार्गदर्शन के लिए आई हूँ।